Hey, Eurovision fam, it's Alesia Michelle. I've got a little bit of a different setting this time. I'm in the mountains. My mom lives in the mountains. So I am like keeping my fingers crossed that this stream is going to be smooth and not crazy. But I was just able to stream Melodifestivalen semifinal 3 with not too many issues. So I'm hoping we can get through this smooth. Okay, those were the results. What do you think? I'm going to hop in these comments real quickly just to see what you think actually went down. So let's get into some of these. All right, Alberto says he's happy. Yes, glad for Mariette. Ted said, I hoped Amanda would go to second chance. Jordan Chen says, Mariette did great. Mario says, so sad for Faith Kakembo. She deserved the place in the final. Lucas says, yeah, I wanted Faith in the final as well. James says, Mariette with the heart eyes, smiley face. And then Jose says, everyone was weak. Antonio, good evening from Germany. ESC Topless says, good direct to final results. I think Mohombi won by a good margin. Hello, Thomas. Yes, fellow American Eurovision fans. Mr. Z says the final is looking strong. I do agree with you. Ted says Mariette's guitar, though. You know, I feel like when I did my prediction videos, and actually, I think if you look back at videos I've done in the past, I have always been crying out for Mariette to just bring her guitar on stage. So I feel like me channeling and like just putting out in the atmosphere, bring out a guitar, bring out a guitar, bring out a guitar. And it finally came to fruition. And I think honestly was one of the pieces that actually helped her eventually go on to advance. Tova says, Mohombi did great. I wanted Anise in the final though. Yeezus says I was legit ROF, yeah, like rolling at Anisa's performance. Ebba, hello from Sweden. Jose says, don't get the hype over Mohombi. He's so 2010. Yeezus says, Mariette looks so passionate. ESC Topless, the mama's still the winner for me. I don't know if I should be surprised or not. And then Odren says, I think Sweden has good entries this year, but none of them are scream Eurovision winning potential. Well, let me get into this video because a lot of folks might end up watching the replay of this. So let me go through my list and talk about all the performers, and then I'll hop back down in the comments and we can kind of give and have like our fun conversation that we always have, because this is about having a conversation. We don't always have to agree. That's the beauty of our Eurovision fam. Okay, so I'm gonna just start with Mohombi. I have to say I'm not a huge Mohombi fan historically. I have issues with his vocal tone personally. I find him to be a little bit nasal at times. So I wouldn't say that I'm like a huge Mohombi fan, but when I heard this song in the bunch of tracks for this particular semi, I was like, okay, he's definitely gonna go through, especially because he does have a pretty large fan base, and really, he really does have a lot of folks, I think, that like him in Sweden. So given the song, given the staging, given the fact that he's well known and has that fan base, it was difficult for me to see him just not going through, honestly. I hated the jean jacket. I don't know why he had it on. I think we need to lose that jean jacket or give him a white denim jacket or something. The jean jacket was not the movement. We saw photos that he was supposed to be flying. Where was that? I would have liked to see him fly. And to be honest, when he goes to the final, if he wants to have a good chance of advancing, he would be doing himself a disservice not to fly. Antonio, Mohombi staging felt like Armenia's in 2018. Well, guess what? It's because it was very similar to that. He said, Savak, homeboy, you didn't go to the final. Do you need them lights? Savak was like, no, man, I don't need these lights. And Mohombi was like, yo, let me just hold them for a little bit. I'll give them back. I do think it is a strong song. I do think Winners is a strong song, even though it kind of reminds me of the stuff that like will.i.am was producing for Usher when he was kind of trying to do his like poppy thing. So, you know, there's nothing about the song that is particularly innovative, out of the box, or different. And I just have to say this about Mohombi. It's something about what he does on stage, like the way that he moves, that I personally, it's like he's trying to be sexy and it's like he's not. And it kind of comes off a little bit corny. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I need to meet him in person or something, because I'm just not getting like the Rico Suave vibe that I feel like he's like attempting to put off. But I don't know. Okay. What else? Ooh. Oh yeah, here we go. And yeah, let's talk about Faith. I am not gonna lie, I was really kind of pulling for Faith. I was thinking that Faith could have been the artist from this semi that really would have had a nice introduction. And then I heard the rehearsal clip where the track snippet of the song, I actually was like, ooh, like this is kind of cool. And then hearing how dated the song was tonight on the stage, I was really disappointed when I heard the rehearsal clip. And honestly, it just, oh my gosh, it was just so, everything about that track just felt old. It didn't feel old in a throwback way. It just felt old. And then the styling, I mean, that jumpsuit, like my mom is pretty fly. I was about to say, oh, it's a jumpsuit my mom would wear. I don't even know if my mom would wear that, because I think she would put it on and be like, does this look too old? Does this look too mother of the bride? Yeah, so that styling wasn't really it. I thought the staging actually was really pretty and her voice sounded good. But again, she did not deserve that dated track. And I'm a little bit upset. And I've talked about this before with Eurovision sometimes, where just I don't know if there's anything more frustrating than having a great vocal just wasted with a poor dated song. And I'm really not happy about it. Okay. Let's talk about Anise. Anise Don Demina. Okay. I would be remiss if I did not say that this song sounds legitimately just like Can't Hold Us, Macklemore. I mean, legitimately, the beat on the track is the same and it's using the same sounds. I cannot forgive you for that. Like, that's just, I mean, it's biting in its most basic form, period. However, the performance was just so joyful. He had this attitude of himself that was like, I'm just happy to be here. And as a result, I kind of was like, I'm happy you're here too. Because he was just giving so much energy, so much joy, so much humility a little bit with the performance. Cause he really could have gone on stage like, oh, like I'm a rapper, I'm about to come here and like do this, which low key Mohombi was given a little bit of that energy. And it was a little bit like, bruh, like you're not that cool, son. And I appreciated what Anise was giving us, honestly. Just so much joy. Oh, just so much attitude. I'm so happy that he went Honor Hansen. I really do feel like it was deserved overall, because that performance was just so high impact and so joyful. Let's go on to Amanda Aasa. Or it's like Amanda Aasa. The track was really catchy. To me, that was the best holistic styling. I liked the styling of the dancers. I liked her styling. I liked the catchiness of the song. I mean, yes, song in Swedish was into that. I really, really liked this entry. The issue with the track, though, was she was a little stiff. She was maybe a little bit nervous. And so as a result, she really couldn't sell the song and give kind of like that wink, that nod, that extra oomph to every move that she was doing, because she seemed a little stiff and a little bit nervous. So yeah, I didn't necessarily think that Amanda should advance, mostly just because I think ultimately, in comparison to what other people were bringing to the stage, we had some more comfortable, assured performers selling their tracks on stage. So let's talk about Drängarna. Andra Hansen, which I think was deserved. Ultimately, it was folky fun, but there's something about the track that almost feels like restrained. It's something about it that almost feels a little bit like held back. And for me, I'm like, no, I want more. Like, give me more energy. Like, at one point, like when they finished it and had the glass breaking, it hit me at the end of the performance that I was like, no, you know what was missing? I wanted to see them like on stage, like breaking bottles, like something about it to just feel more wild, feel more like I'm in this Viking cold pub with like a wildfire going, and like we've got beer. Yeah, and just like throwing glasses and just being like wild. Like I just wanted it to be more unrestrained, and I wanted more energy from the song, from the performance. And so that's why I don't think that this will like win. But I appreciated it. Definitely felt like Honor Hansen was deserved. And let's move on to Mariette. This is the best styling we have ever seen Mariette in. Let me say it again. This is the best styling we have ever seen Mariette in. My second place for styling in today's semi was Mariette. Amanda, holistic, because I not only liked what Amanda had on, I appreciated what the dancers had on. I want me some sparkly white biker shorts, okay? And actually, low key, maybe somebody could give me those sparkly white biker shorts, because I mean, she's not advancing, so y'all don't even need those. I can have them. Thank you in advance. Mariette's styling was the best that she's ever had. She looked great. She sounded great. And I'm just going to say, this might be the last time I ever read anything that is based off of like the Swedish press's opinion of a song, because they were like, this was her weakest entry, which I'm not going to lie, I just disagree with. I think that A Million Years was weaker. To me, if we're looking at everything holistically, I think that this track was actually very strong. The way that we started off the staging with the warm light, I think she seemed to be a little bit more comfortable and more assured in the delivery, and less of this motion. I think the more that she can hone in on just like owning it, staying in one place, delivering the song and giving that power, the more I think I will like it personally. And I honestly think the more other people will like it. But yeah, I really liked this offering from Mariette. I don't know if she will win Melodifestivalen. I'm not necessarily getting that vibe. It's crazy because right now it's like off of the past semis, because this is semi 3. I don't think we have any winners from this semi. I really still feel like Robin got a little bit of advantage. I think the mamas still got advantage. And I think Anna Bergendahl are coming through as my like top 3 for folks that I'm like, ooh, I really think y'all could win. I could just see it. Really, I could just see it. All right, so those are my thoughts. I ran through all of that. 13 minutes, not too much. So let's get into the chat. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back in the chat and see if I missed anything. So Ambiguous Tim says Anis was the best out of all of them. His energy was so great. His energy was so joyful. I really, really appreciated it. Let's see. ESC Topless, I'm so happy Mariette made it over Drängarna. I really thought Swedes would just vote it to the final because it was something funny. I mean, I think I had that, but I think even in my prediction, I was like, because I had this feeling that maybe for me that I would like Mariette's more than what I was hearing the Swedish press saying. Because yeah, again, I mean, the Swedish press were like, oh yeah, it just seems like anybody could be singing this. Like I read something that was like anyone could be singing this song, and that this was like her weakest offering, which like I just could not disagree anymore. Mind you, I believe it was the same publication that put Faith Kakembo's performance and song in the same sentence as Whitney Houston. And like off of that, after what I just saw, like you've lost all credibility with me. Because just no, I mean, just no. I think that Mariette actually, Again, I think this is one of her best performances that she's given us, point blank. So let's see. Okay, Sweet Miro says the biggest problem with Faith's song was that it took 2 minutes for something to happen. I absolutely agree with you. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I'm disappointed because I think she deserved better. She deserved a better track. She deserved a stronger track. Lucas Valin says, in my opinion, I thought Faith's song was the only thing that stood out because everything else was so generic. The melody was so beautiful. The melody was very Brenda K. Star. It was very 80s R&B pop, like, but not in a nostalgic way. It sounded literally like a song that Brenda K. Star could have sang in 87. I mean, come on. Like, I'm so frustrated with that. Joey Rebella says, Alesia, how would you compare Mariette this year versus her other entries? I mean, I think Don't Stop Believin' is still the best one. Full package. For You, it's funny because I prefer For You as a song, but I didn't really like the staging. I prefer the staging of this one to For You. So it's kind of tricky for me because I'm like, I think I almost want to put this one as second and then For You and then like A Million Years at the bottom. Yeah. Because honestly, A Million Years for me could have been sung by somebody else. Like, what about that song really was like Mariette? I mean, like Mariette actually is like a musician. She can play an instrument. She could write a song. So, like, I want to hear songs that are sort of reflective of that personally. And I don't know. There's just something about Don't Stop Believing that the atmospheric energy of it, the staging of it. It's just something about Don't Stop Believing that I think is just iconic and great. Okay. Ole says Anis is a famous YouTuber in Sweden with over 400K. So that's why he advanced. I don't think that that's the only reason why he advanced because isn't Clara Hammerstrand, wasn't she like a YouTuber and doesn't her whole family have like a television show? She didn't advance. You know what I mean? I don't think that we can just say like, oh, people advance just because they're on YouTube. Like he advanced because that performance was joyous. It was joyous and it was fun. And the shit was catchy. It was catchy. Antonio 98, can we just appreciate for a moment that Eurovision brings all of us together? Yes, let's like have this moment right now. Like I'm here in the States. It is afternoon here. It's evening over there. This was interesting. Yes. Okay. Let me get back into the comments. ESC Sebi says, I think a female will win this year. Mamas, Anna, daughter, Mariette, and also Hannah to come. I think we could see that. Eurotainment says, I think Mariette is top 5 in the final for sure. I don't know about that because sometimes, female artists can win their semi and then they go to the final and it's like, where did the points go? Where did the points go? Where did the fans go? Oh, that's right. Behind all these like cute young male pop stars singing a well-produced pop track. Michael Steele says, some people argue Anna could bring Sweden to its seventh win. Agree. It's possible. It's possible. I think Anna Bergendahl is definitely of the women we have. Well, but I think the mamas have an edge. I think the mamas have like a je ne sais quoi edge. Also, to me, in my opinion, I think if you send the mamas to Eurovision, we're talking top 3 jury finish, without a doubt. I don't know if Anna would get top 3 jury finish, like maybe top 5, but I don't know if Anna would get like surefire jury top 3. But the mamas, I'm feeling pretty like they would just give them all the points, I think. Jacob, can we talk about the staging for Amanda? That was cool to look at. Some of my favorite staging this evening. I thought that was really cool. I wish she could have just sold the song a little bit more, but I don't know. Alice N says, I like Anna, but the problem is that she is not popular here in Sweden, hoping that it won't cost her a popular win. Well, Allison, drop in the comments again, because this is the thing. I actually think Anna won that semi. I don't actually think that Daughter won the semi. I think Anna did. Now, does that mean that when we get to the final, like Anna will place higher than daughter. Maybe. I don't know, but I do think I am. I don't know. I do think that Anna actually won the last semi. Today, I do think Mohombi could have actually won this semi. I don't know, but then I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe Mariette actually did win the semi because Mohombi's vocal really wasn't all there, but maybe I'm biased because I'm not like a huge Mohombi fan. And like I said, like his movement on stage to me, I find sometimes a bit jarring. Let me get back in these comments. Alex C, before making predictions on the results of ESC final, please wait for all the songs. I think that the winning song isn't still out. I'm like, well, duh. But I mean, we're kind of making predictions now just for fun. Like, obviously, it is still very, very early. But again, I do think we can look back at past jury performance and past jury trends. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, I think that the Mamas have probably the best chance of winning the jury at Eurovision than any Melodifestivalen and advancing artist that I've seen. Okay. Yeezus says, I hope Hannah Firm brings something. Well, I think she will be bringing something. I don't know if the something that she will be bringing is going to be heart-stopping or stage-stopping, but I will say, I think Anna Bergendahls' performance and song definitely surprised me. I think coming off of such a high as Ashes to Ashes and then coming back with this package for Kingdom Come, I think is really strong. So I am hopeful. Oh, Eva says Anna is popular in Sweden, but it seems the international jury never want to give her points. They gave her very little last year. You know, I recall, but I do think this year's a little bit different. That staging package that she is serving is a staging package that I think international juries, at least some, could get behind. ESC top list. Alesia, will you react to Norway? Yes, I will react to all of the songs that have been picked to advance and go on to Eurovision, of course. Corpin Flieger says, problem for Sweden is the popular vote, not the juries, and not certain any song here will do that well in televotes. I disagree. I think that the Mamas could do very well in televote points. There's something about that performance that feels throwback. It feels nostalgic in a familiar way. I think the performance that they're giving on stage is different. It's just something about it that I think is sweet and endearing. It doesn't feel manufactured, and I don't think it feels contrived in any way. I think there's something about it that just feels authentic. Alicia says, who was your favorite tonight? Mariette actually might have been my favorite. I mean, Anis's performance probably brought me the most joy. Like, I literally had a moment where I just busted out laughing, and I was not laughing at him. I was laughing with him. And it was something about his performance that became really joyful for me. So yeah. So Gillis Falk says, I really hope Nana will advance next week. Me too. I don't know what she's going to be serving, but I feel like what she will be serving will be joyful. I feel that it will be on the pitch and key. I feel like the styling will not be matronly. I think we're going to get a show with Nana, and I for one, am ready for the show. Personally, I will be ready. And let's see if I missed any. Mr. Z says, do you have good seats for the final? The press room. The press room. That's where I'll be sitting. Alberto says, I think this Melfest is much stronger than recent years. I agree with you. I think Melodifestivalen kind of took a little bit of a backseat for the past 2 years. But I'm definitely happy to see Melodifestivalen back with a vengeance. I like the fact that the winner this year doesn't seem predictable. I like the fact that the winner this year doesn't seem to be someone where it's like, oh, you can kind of tell the producers just wanted this person to, you know, something about it. It feels a little bit more democratic. and something about it feels a little bit more unexpected. And I think that that's always the mark of a good show, when you don't know what's going to come next. Yeah, so I just want to take a moment. I do this in all of my live streams, just to say thank you so much to everyone who watches, every single like, every single subscriber, every single comment. Like, honestly, it means the world to me. I started my channel years ago because I really just wanted to connect with people just like you. I was writing a lot of blogs, and I just felt like, oh man, but you're writing a blog, you don't really get to have the conversation. And for me, being isolated in America with no one really to talk to about Eurovision, this is so fun for me, just to have these conversations and not feel like I'm talking to a wall or talking to myself. So honestly, year after year, I am so appreciative. Like, you don't even understand. I would also like to say that, I don't think that we always have to agree. But I think that we can all like agree to disagree sometimes without having to tear each other down, without having to like question someone's intelligence, name calling, drawing assumptions. I can state my preference for something. You can state your preference for something. And guess what? We don't have to agree, but that's the beauty of all of this. And I just wanted to make sure that that's very clear to people. And I will also say that because I sort of have that attitude of all of this, I do moderate my comments because I want all of you to feel like you have a safe space to express your opinion. The only time I really will hop into the comments is, and I should say hop into the comments to moderate, is if I feel like the conversation is deviating in a way where people are name calling, where people are tearing other folks down, questioning people's intelligence, drawing assumptions. That is the only time where I feel like I have to kind of intervene and remind folks that, like, you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion. We don't have to disagree, but that doesn't mean that I'm an idiot. That doesn't mean that I haven't done my research, and vice versa. So just wanted to take the time to say that. And I mean, we all get really passionate about the things that we get passionate about. And I don't mind that. And I love that. But I think that we can always do it in a respectful way, and in a way that's about building community and not about tearing people down. So yes. So let me just hop it back in these comments. Yes. Oh, so ESC Sebi says, if you look at the odds top three, it's pretty clear that Anna, Hannah, and Daughter will do well. I mean, look, odds aren't everything. As we know, odds are definitely not everything. So, and we have one more semi to go and some songs that we haven't even heard yet. So let's figure that out. So Copyright Breaker 22 says, Alesia, you look pretty as usual today. Thank you. I try. Jam Slam. Do you think Mons would win Melodifestivalen 2020 with Walk With Me? I haven't heard that song, so I don't know. Odoran says, oh, wait. Aniko says, as far as I know, Nana's song will be a party and radio-friendly song, similar to Dance Monkey, but more Schlager. I'm looking forward to what Nana serves us. Looking forward to it a lot. Hepelo says, Melodifestivalen is disappointing. Time for Krister to resign. Here's hoping a non-qualifier at Eurovision will help Sweden to end his 10-year reign the same way he started. Oh, no. Oh my goodness, that burned. Sizzle, 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 eek. But I don't want Sweden not to qualify. If they serve a song that is quality, I want them to qualify. So ESC Topless says, wait, how are the Mamas not top three in the odds? Well, it's crazy because the Mamas weren't even top to finish high and advance in the semi, which was ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how that was like a thing, because I had at least always had the Mamas going on or Hansen. So I don't know what that was about, or what that is about. Antonio 98, what about Dami being Australia's representative next year? If the song is good, who cares? Um, James Millier, do you think Daughter is a dark horse? It's funny because I should say no, I don't necessarily think that Daughter is a dark horse because the fandom is like hyping her up so hard right now. So it's a little bit hard to be a dark horse when like people are standing you like crazy. Uh, but honestly, I just think Anna might have more of the edge. Hell, I think Robin still has an edge. So I don't know. Hepelo, if Victor Crone gets worse staging than he had last year at SD Lau, it's gonna be fun. Well, I don't know about that. I think his staging will be good. And I think actually Victor Crone had a lot of momentum going into this. So yeah, so we'll see. Um Neil Era, I only see mamas with both juries and televote appeal. I do agree with that. I think that that's kind of a clear thing. I think I explained that earlier. Corpin Flyer says, wait, you mentioned Swedish press. You read Swedish? I mean, I can go online and I have Google Chrome, which automatically translates stuff. Jam Slam says, daughter sounds too preteenish. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I agree with that. Kevin Crycon says, I'm really excited for next week's semi. I know Hannah seems to be the big name to beat, but I think that Nana, Frida, Victor, and especially Jacob could all serve. I completely agree with you. I think that semi 4 is going to be very, very interesting. ESC Sebi says, I really don't think Robin is going to take it. It's a really basic song with a special tune in the chorus, but it went direct to the final. So clearly it has some type of appeal that makes people like it. And Neko says, Melfa should consider allowing eliminated participants to join the stage in the last finalist performance. It's quite sad to see some artists leave the stage and going home that way. But, you know, honestly, like, and I don't know if this is just because I'm personally super competitive, but like, I would not want to be on the stage after I didn't qualify to advance. I would want to go wipe my makeup off, get ready to go to the bar and chill and have myself a little party. Neil Era says Robin has the catchiest tune. Probably it is really catchy. Hepala says, Alesia, why do you think songs in Swedish underperform with the voters these days? Well, actually, you know what? And it just dawned on me. I don't even know if I talked about Albin. Or maybe I did. Albin, I actually really liked that song, but unfortunately, that vocal was non-existent. It wasn't there. There was no vocal. And then on the staging, it's like the dancers were there and you know, we had a staging setup, but then he was just up there chilling. And to be honest, as much as I would have liked to see a Swedish song advance, that wasn't the one. You know what I'm saying? Amanda Aasa, again, I liked that track, but she was too stiff. She couldn't really sell the song in the way I think it needed to be sold in that moment. So that was kind of unfortunate. So, I mean, I don't think we should necessarily say that it's people not liking the Swedish songs because it can't just be the song being in Swedish. We need a full package. We need the staging to be there. We need the choreography to be there. And we need the vocal to be there. So I'm going to sign off very soon, but I'm going to just get to some of these last comments. Michaela says, would you want to come to Melodifestivalen one day? I've already been to Melodifestivalen. I've already been to Melfest before, and I'm going to be going to the grand final this year. ESC Sebi says, I actually think Felix could be out in AC just because of the new voting system. It's more for younger folks. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that Felix is definitely still a threat. I think a lot of people are sleeping right now on Felix, but I think Felix is most certainly still a threat. What was your first Eurovision experience? I've kind of talked about this ad nauseum, so you should like watch my like other videos. Like I think I have a video that's actually like a Q&A doc of like how I got into Eurovision and everything. But I first found out about Eurovision after Lordi won, so a while ago. Eurotainment, do you think it was a weak semi? I don't know. Like in a weird way, I remember when I did my predictions and I did feel like they set it up just to have like Mariette and Mohombi advance. And then that's exactly what happened. I mean, Mariette and Mohombi went direct to final. And I was thinking that maybe this could have been the first time that Mariette went to Andra Hansen, but low-key, I think I was trusting the Swedish press to a certain degree to like write a review that wasn't ridiculous. And I mean, given what I saw and given some of the critiques that I saw in the press, like to me, a lot of it just didn't add up, but that's just my opinion. Michaela says, thoughts on the host? I'm kind of like meh on the host this year, to be honest. You know, yeah, I'm just sort of like, oh, okay. I don't see myself plugging in a lot to what they're serving. I mean, I feel like it's neither good nor bad. And I guess that's better than being bad. But I don't feel kind of any direction, to be honest. James Millier, do you think that Paul Ray can get to the final? You know, I don't know. I was a little bit surprised with the way that the particular genre of the track, because I think he would have performed better if they stuck with that like kind of more traditional R&B hip hop vibe. And it's a little bit more pop than what I was thinking that they would give to him, which I don't know if that was the best decision, honestly, in the end. James W says the 2013 winner, yes, I know, came from Andra Hansen. So it's not like no one won from going via Andra Hansen. So Felix could still do it. I totally agree with you. Copyright Breaker 22, Alesia, what artist do you want to see in Eurovision or any pre-selection? I don't understand the question. Like, what artists do you want to see in Eurovision or any pre? Well, I'm not following the national selections this year, so I can't, other than Melodifestivalen, so I can't really speak to anything else. So I don't know. I Am Robot, in my opinion, Semi 3 was stronger than Semi 2 and way stronger than Semi 1, but I know I'm probably on my own on that stance. To me, Semi-final 1 was actually pretty clear who was going to advance. I mean, those 4 people, we knew that they were going to advance, so it was just a matter of figuring out who was going to go direct and who was going to be Andra Hansen. Honestly, I thought Semi 2 was probably the strongest. Me personally, I felt like any of the songs from Semi 2 could have gone on. I really was kind of like, I have no clue how Sweden will vote, because all those songs I thought were really good on stage personally. Wow, am I really don't like the Andra Hansen concept. They usually put the songs that I like against each other so that only one of them can go to the final, and then they put the songs I don't like against each other. I kind of agree with that. I was thinking about that earlier today, that I was almost like, I almost wish that Andra Hansen was like at random and it wasn't like these selected things, because again, it does tend to feel a little bit like, oh, you were trying to make it easy for that person to get by. Sometimes that's how I feel. And I think that they would better serve themselves by being random, or not even having duels, just like, I don't know, like just having like competition, and then whomever gets the most points at the end, that's who then gets to advance. I would prefer that to this, like, this one knocks this person out, this one knocks this person out. So I think I agree with you on that. Swedmiro says the press sees the stage from the arena, voters see it from the TV. Two completely different things, but they also were hearing vocals and the melodies of the songs, and I think that their opinions were off. I think that some of them opinions were off. Copyright Breaker 2, sorry for the misunderstanding. Is there any artist you know that would probably never compete in Eurovision? Oh. Well, I mean, like with the UK, I think there's tons of artists that it would be nice to see. Honestly, I've always said that I would love to see Sarah Brightman just go on and represent the UK, but I'm a fan. So maybe that's where I'm coming from. I'm a fan of Sarah Brightman, so I would love to see her represent the UK. I mean, she's a worldwide successful classical contemporary artist. I mean, she basically created the genre. So I love her. Yeah, Hepolo says, should Sweden introduce juries for the semifinals? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I should also say, is there any other artist? Oh, I would love to see Sweden send Little Dragon to Eurovision, because Little Dragon is just one of my favorite groups, like, ever. But I don't think that they should have to participate in Melodifestivalen. Like, you just send them. Like, you just send them, not to mention I think that they would give something very different, very out of the box. And not just like a well-produced Swedish pop song. So yeah, I would love to see that. I'm trying to think any other artists from like countries that Yeah, and even Albania, I kind of think has a lot of these like diaspora artists that I'm just like, drop the festival and just see if one of those folks wanted to represent. Like, that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be really interesting. Okay, Art Boy, Alesia, quick question. Any thoughts on Armenia's song that just got chosen to? No, I haven't even heard it. I literally went from Melody Festival into this live stream. Pogo says, I love you, Alesia. Do you think the Mamas still have a shot? Because I really need them. I need them to represent Sweden like now. I absolutely think that the Mamas still have a shot. Absolutely. Andrew says, which country do you think is the most consistent in terms of quality in Eurovision? Probably like Italy and Sweden. I'm not gonna lie, Sweden, I was not a Franz if I were a sorry fan. I just was like, oh, like, I would not have sent that track at all, especially with what it was up against that particular year. But like Italy, I think always gives quality. Like, you can never say that they've sent like a bad song. And I think Sweden always gives quality. And honestly, those are the only countries I would feel comfortable saying at this point. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to close off because I don't want to have a marathon live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you were able to watch the replay of this and sat through it, like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment down below. This is a conversation. I am so excited for Eurovision 2020. Bye.